Up YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Little unexpected. Just thought I would go live. Uh, just have some conversations. If you hop on and you want to be a part of it, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and I will shoot you over a link and we will get a group in here with other opinions. But um, see if anybody pops on, if they want to chat. But just wanted to talk about a few things that's going on lately, some things that's been on my mind. As the title says, do we need a sports cards hobby reset button? And what I mean by reset button, the market rose drastically. The hobby had a lot of people come in 2020, 2021. I believe there's still some growth occurring, but I think a lot of what happened with the growth from 2020 and 2021, I think we're also have experienced a lot of folks also moved back out. That's what I mean by do we need a reset button? Do we need to relook at the landscape and not just go based off of, well, the numbers were X? Do we need to say, okay, we went through the rise and now things have trickled back down to a normal? Where are we at? What does the landscape look like? Why are people here? How many people are still here? Um, one thing that has occurred to me, as someone, me and the missus run a group. The group has grown. The group overall has grown in numbers. Like our membership, we're up to nearly 620 members. It's grown. But I've noticed the activity inside the group has actually declined. If you go back to when the group was new in 2020 and into 2021, there was lots of activity, lots of communication, lots of conversations, lots of discussions. People were selling, buying, all of that all the time. And now it's not as much of that. So, although the numbers have grown, the activity is less. I can tell, even as someone who's never really had a ton of viewers on the channel, I can tell even my viewerships are lower. And it doesn't matter if I post a video every single day or if I post a video once a week. That doesn't fluctuate the viewerships. It's almost like, I don't know if interest is down. If people don't want to hear about the topics. I did a video the other day that I actually spent a lot of time on, pulling up numbers for parallels from Optic, Mosaic, Prism, and Select Football. And I went and accounted for every parallel and put down every one that had serial numbers and accumulated for the total number of serial numbered cards that were across each product. I thought it was a good informational type video to share with people. And it got like 60 views. I don't know if people just aren't interested in that. But I just felt that was interesting. There's I did my Jackie Robinson collection on Jackie Robinson Day and had hardly any views. People all the time say, I would love to see your collection. I love watching collecting videos. But yet, I mean, we can go take a look. I'll pull it up over here. If you go to videos, let me go to, where is share screen? Share. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Share screen. Share screen. Share. Here we go. So if you look at this, this video here, Prism Optic Mosaic Select, and I got 60 views. 15-minute video, 60 views. Took me a while to do that. This here I thought was very interesting, looking at population count numbers on parallels of popular rookie cards from 18, 19, 20. I even pulled up Mike Trout to show us a similarity even with Mike Trout back in 2011. But this video, sharing my Jackie Robinson collection on Jackie Robinson Day, 68 views. But I hear all the time, I would love to see your collection. Apparently not, because the views aren't there. And I'm not complaining, because I'm still going to do content. That's not what this is about. The reason I'm sharing this is I think that people just aren't putting as much interest into it. What's up, Bullpen? I see your comment up there. He says too many people lost their ass, and I think that is a big factor. I think it is. He says people back to work, no more lockdown is why decline of views. So that could be possible, but I know a lot of people, and a lot of the content I do, you don't have to watch a video. Like, you can just listen. It could be podcast type content. So I know a lot of people listen to YouTube while they're even at work. So as that could be part of it, I don't think it's all of it. Plus, I don't like just put my stuff out in the morning or in the evening. I kind of mix it up. I think it's really just a lack. Well, I shouldn't say a lack. I think there's a decline of interest. I think there's more people doing videos now, for one. When I started doing the channel, and in early 2020, there was channels out there, but it was nowhere near as many channels as it is today. It's definitely a change in the amount of channels. So I think part of it is there's not enough hours in the day to watch everybody's videos. But at the same token, if you go in the group, I shared a video in the group yesterday, and I don't share videos in the group all the time anymore. But when I share something in the group, and this is a key, more so than the viewership, this is a key of what I've noticed. So I have 600 plus members in the group. I share a video in my group, and I get under 200 views. But I know a lot of the people that watch the video aren't even part of the group. So it's like a portion just isn't even like interacting anymore. That's something that, why I'm speaking on, do we need a reset button? Not specifically saying, hey, blow the whole thing up and let's start over. I'm saying I think maybe we need to erase the whiteboard and look into where we were, what we got to, and where we are. Because I think we were, down here and then up here, and I think we might maybe end somewhere in here. I don't think we're back down here yet, but I think maybe somewhere in here. So I think, and the reason this is coming up is I'm hearing people, there's a lot of talk about, are we in the junk wax era? And then there's a lot of people defending and being negative and telling people they're stupid for saying that, because they're looking at some numbers that are out there. And these people that are saying that have high interest into the hobby. They have high interest to gain from the hobby. I don't think it's fair to tell people they're stupid when they have a concern on whether or not we are in or approaching a junk wax area. Specifically when this person, and I'm not going to call names out, I'll just say this. They have a large voice in the hobby. They have a very, 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 very large following, and they have a high common interest in sports cards. So it's very important to them for people to not think that things are shifting. But I also want to mention their age, they did not even experience junk wax the first go around. So they have no right to tell anybody whether we are or are not approaching it a second time. I would also say people who have experienced it before, people who didn't just come back in because a dollar of value was attached to cards, they're going to be better off. Those people will survive because they were into the cards before the cards were booming, right? They enjoyed them before. So they're going to be fine now because it's like, hey, we had this little, I put it all going to the amusement park, getting on the roller coaster. That's where we were. We went up that climb and then it came back down. We're like, oh, okay, cool. You know, it's kind of the same thing. Those that came in when that roller coaster was going up and they didn't expect it to come back down because it was cool when everything was going up, they're the ones that when it takes that picture, they're shitting their pants because they don't know what to do now. They're the ones that's not going to have the interest moving forward. That's what creates junk. You know, these companies are pumping out more and more product, different types of product, more amount of product, raising prices of product to where people can't afford it. And people are losing their ass and are going to shift out, and then it becomes junk. So to say someone is stupid for thinking that way is absolutely asinine. Like anybody that has a concern right now has a relevant concern. There should be concern. If we just believe that everything's hunky-dory, A-okay, and it's just going to keep shooting to the moon, we are fooling ourselves. We are absolutely fooling ourselves. So, what's up, Brandon? How are you, man? Ryan says that's how he does it. He listens at work. Also, Whatnot has taken off for the market. Sadie, what is up, brother? He says, can you reset the entire country? Bro, I cannot do that. My name is Brandon, but I cannot do that. I know y'all keep cheering for me. I get it. Y'all keep cheering for me. Keep pumping it up. I can't do nothing about that, man. Oversaturation of card channels talking about the same thing isn't helping. That is correct. That's why I'm not saying like nobody else is talking about anything that I've talked about, but I've been trying to put out like stuff that I find interesting, you know. I'm not saying doom and gloom, everything's going to crash and all the cards are going to be shit. That's not what this is about. I think we need to kind of refocus and actually think about where are we actually at today. I'm running a giveaway right now. It actually ends tomorrow at 8 p.m. So in 24 hours, a little less than 24 hours now, the giveaway will end. I am giving away free grading submissions, a t-shirt, a tumbler, a graded Juan Soto rookie card, a nice storage box, a lanyard, you know, several different things. I'm not doing this to ask anything in return. I ask for people to like make a post telling me about their favorite card or this and that, right? Simple questions, nothing asked in return. Simple, just have fun as a thank you. I posted it on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Okay? 3 places. You can enter any of them if you would like. There have been 25 entries. Now, maybe just people don't want to pay attention or partake or whatever. But that surprises me. Like, I'm literally asking for nothing except just for some interaction, some conversation. Share a card with me, with the group, whatever. Let me know what your favorite card is and why. You know, tag a couple people on Instagram, and then I ask people to post a card on their Instagram and tag me in it. That's their favorite card. YouTube, I had to do something a little different because, you can't post like photos in there or whatever. So I asked people to go back and watch my first submission that I got back from SGC and tell me what your favorite card was that I submitted. That one was a little bit trickier to do, but I wanted to have some interaction there. So that's what I did. It just shocks me. It's like, okay, well, maybe nobody's interested. That's cool too. But I wanted to do something to give back. I haven't done it in a while. So I had some stuff and wanted to share it with you guys. But Brandon said, I'm personally going through a bit of a hobby burnout. I can't pinpoint why, but during the boom, I was going super hard buying, selling, grading, and watching content. Perfectly understandable. And no offense to you in particular, I think this may have happened with many people. During the boom, it was easy. Like, you couldn't miss. You could literally, I showed people, especially for basketball, you could watch the basketball games in the bubble, see who had a decent game that night, list a card of Darius Bazley, and by the next morning, they were sold. You know, it was 15, 20 bucks. Easy. Like that by the morning. Now, it's not everything is going to fly off the shelf. There is a ton of stuff out there, right? The burnout is real. Like people, it was go, 100 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, nope, we're not going to play that game anymore. And now it's changed. So you have to, and I don't know everybody's situation. I don't know how long, if you came back in during the boom or if you were around before. The video I did about the plain white envelope thing, I'm going to tell you guys, that has been one of the funnest things I've done in a long time. I have stacks. I actually have them sitting right here. I have stacks of slabs, like probably 80 slabs sitting right here that I could list on eBay. I was actually going through looking at some of them yesterday. These are cards that I want to sell, that I don't want in my collection. But instead of listing those, I've been listing cheap raw cards. Just little cheap raw cards. $2, $5, $8, $10, whatever. And I've been having a blast with it. So the burnout, I could see if it was go, and now things have changed, I could see how it could be a burnout. It's not as easy as it was. So let's see. Sadie said, what you should be talking about is that Soto has 3 home runs and 3 RBIs. The Nationals are not good. That's no secret. Soto is going to have bumps and bruises this year. It's not going to be pretty. So something that was to be expected, but the kid's still good. It's not Soto. It's the team sucks. Can't get RBIs if you ain't got men on base. Just remember that. Junk wax was insane. You can still find cases upon cases of junk wax for cheap 30 years later. Expect in 2052 to be seeing 2022 cases probably. I think there's a lot of it out there. Bullpen says we are in a retail junk era. Buy hobby only. Okay, buy hobby only. The issue with buy hobby only is, how are you buying Prism football at $1,700 a box? Like, that comes out to, what is it, 12 packs? So 1,700 divided by 12 packs, that's $141.66 a pack before tax. $141.66 per pack. I was buying hobby boxes not even 2 years ago, cheaper than what one pack will cost you at $1,700 a box. Now, again, not mentioning names, I heard someone say, well, wax is more expensive because the singles are more expensive. That isn't how the game works. Like, And I don't know where this person is getting that singles are more expensive. I looked up, okay? Where did I write it down at? I thought of, LaMelo Ball, Prism Basketball. I'm going to use LaMelo. His base Prism right now, raw, is $16.50. A silver LaMelo Ball Prism and a PSA 9 is $265. So 2019 Prism, 2020-21 Prism, the cost of that wax rose substantially, and this guy's claim was singles are more expensive. Well, I hate to tell him, but in 2018, I was buying Prism actually less than MSRP, less than actual shelf price. And Luka, before Luka became the big hype he was, his PSA 9 silver was well above $265. So where this guy's getting that singles are higher, that's why wax is higher, is full of shit, because that's not the case and it's not how things work. So I when I heard that, I couldn't believe what this guy was feeding people. It's not because singles are higher. It's well known that singles have dropped dramatically, especially on products like Prism. So let's see. The free submission of Juan Soto card is crazy good. I would have done crazy stuff for that, and all you wanted was to chat, basically. Yeah, it's just simply a giveaway, man. Just basically a thank you. Sadie says, I think revisiting sets eras would be interesting in terms of cards, more inserts than anything. Do you mean set, like if today they put out more set stuff instead of making it parallel heavy? Because I think that's a big issue today, and that's why I was doing that video. You know, when you look at how many different colored parallels are in product today, and how much each year they substantially grow the amount of parallels. And then they've even been tricky and added, like, increased the number. I actually was talking with Sadie about it. Topps Heritage this year, I don't know if anybody noticed, but the Heritage Chrome refractors, they normally go, the last two digits are for the year of the design for the product that year. So example, this year's 1973 design. So what they would normally do is the last two digits on the Chrome refractors would be 73, but then the first number would be a 5. It would be 573. And then next year would be 574, 575, etc. They would increase it by one number, same way golds are numbered to the year of the product. Well, this year, Topps snuck in and said, no, we're not going to go one digit. We're going to up it 101. And what they also have been doing that nobody's paying attention to is they're increasing odds. So they make it harder to hit the more common of cards, but they'll slip in these other parallels that you can hit, and that allows them to then make more and more product. They also have increased, I can't remember exact numbers, but I think it went from 2020 had 5 Chrome parallels, 2021 had 7 Chrome parallels, and 2022 now has 9 Chrome parallels. So not only are they increasing the number of the serial number, but they're increasing the colors and shapes and whatever designs and everything as well, and then also increasing the print odds or the hit odds for the parallels. So this just stacks up, like over and over. You keep stacking it and you become more and more and more and more printed. But people think, well, it has a serial number on it, so it's rare. No, that does not mean necessarily that it's rare. If a product has 10 cards that are all numbered to 5, it's just different colors. That doesn't mean blue is any better than purple or red is any different than orange. They're all numbered out of 5. I mean, it's just this mind gimmick that they're playing with this stuff. And I think there's people defending it, not realizing what actually has happened. So, Sadie says, not sure hobby over retail for what 40 colors of the same card. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Momo says, what's up? Sadie says, no, I mean, in terms of content, the amount of new cards I've seen every time I buy a collection is absurd. Exactly. That is going to be something. If you want to enjoy this hobby without spending a crap ton of money, Refractor Jones, I don't know if he's watching. He watches sometimes. He might be on the road, actually, but he goes around buying collections. And he's already said he's excited because he knows what this means. When things started going back down the way they were, he knows people's now going to try to unload. They're going to try to recoup whatever they can because they're in the hole. Credit cards are maxed out. I would almost bet people have taken loans out to buy sports cards because when everything was going up, they had this great confidence that they were going to make so much money. You know, it was this side hustle. I would guarantee people took loans out. And now, well, it's not as easy to flip and make that money, or they waited on their PSA order for 14 months and stuff dropped. They're in a hole. They are really in a hole. And, you know, I admit 2020 was great. Early 2021 was great. You could not miss. It was so easy to make money. But I'm also going to tell you guys, and I don't share numbers. I believe I shared. I see Sean's in the chat. I believe I shared it with him. If you looked at my 2019 sales, and I did it from what was it? It was like April 2019 to April 2020, and then I did April 2020 to April 2021, and then 2021 to April 2022. I showed him and JJ 3 years of my eBay sales, and that's just eBay. That's not shows. It's not Facebook, YouTube sales, none of that stuff. That was just eBay. I had very good sales in 2019. The 2020 era was like 2.5x of 2019. But then 2021 to 2022, I was still right actually at what I was at 2019. I was actually above 2019, but I had way less sales because I actually didn't sell cards on eBay for several months. So even in that declining market, it was still easy to sell and make money for the collection off of sports cards. And I'm not sitting here flipping stuff. I'm buying boxes and selling cards, or I rip wax and sell cards I don't want. I'm not going out buying cards and having to flip it. It's just part of piecing out collections or simply selling stuff you don't want. You know, if you rip a pack and you get a Larry Bird out of it and you don't want it, sell it to somebody who does, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Ryan says increasing odds and adding parallels while increasing the prices. 100%. Right. A ton of new people will only be selling collections of 2020 and 20. Spot on. There's going to be so much of it. And 2022 is damn sure going to be out there. I wish we could say, okay, we had fun. Let's slim down the production numbers. Let's keep the prices where they were. We can take a little bump for Panini and Topps. We'll take a little bit of a bump. 1,700, no, we're not taking that. But we'll let y'all increase the price a little bit. Maybe increase the print run slightly because we do have more people in than we did in 2019. Understandable. But this is a supply and demand driven hobby. The market values are supply and demand driven. And when supply exceeds demand, the value is basically impacted. I mean, it's no secret. I was actually talking with Sean and Ryan earlier today. Um, a question I would love to know. I would love for a poll to be given, but I want people to answer it honestly. If cards had zero value attached to them, let's just say the cards are neutral. They're simply based on a hobby premise. They're not a alternate investment asset class, nothing of the sorts. They are simply enjoyment, entertainment, hobby specific and related. Values are irrelevant. Okay? How many people would stay in this hobby? That would be a question I would love to see honestly answered, because I think a lot of the main interest in it is, what is the value? You see it so many times. Post up, how much is this worth? How much can I sell this for? You rip a box and talk about how much value was in it. You know, it's so value centric that I really wonder what the relevancy would be if there was no value. And the reason that made me think about that is when we were kids, let's be real, when we were kids, we based value off of a Beckett price guide. As kids, we would trade with our friends, or we would go to a hobby shop and, I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't raking in the dough on allowances. I didn't get an allowance. When I was a teenager, I started working when I was 13 just to earn money to go to the hobby shop. Outside of getting, cards for Easter or my birthday or Christmas, my only interaction within the hobby was trading with my friends. So the value there was about me getting, and I told you guys long ago, I told the story. I had a 55 Bowman Hank Aaron that I regretted up until like 2 years ago when I replaced it, because I traded as a kid. I was a dumb kid and I traded it for some cards that I thought were cooler than a 55 Bowman Hank Aaron. I didn't care about the value. I thought those cards were cooler than that one. And then I regretted it as I got older, because I was like, shit, I had this Hank Aaron that I really, really, really wish I still had. So I bought another one. We didn't necessarily care about value. It was about collecting the players that we liked, collecting the cool cards we liked. That Beckett was simply what it stated. It was a guide. If you removed eBay today where there was no comps, how would we survive? Like, what would this be worth? It's worth whatever somebody would be willing to trade me or buy it off me for. But it wouldn't be no eBay comps, right? We would be in this neutral market back where we were when we were kids, when we didn't have our phones and market mover apps and, all that stuff to decide how much we wanted for this. So that's just something I've thought about. Like, are we only in, like, is the hobby only thriving because of the dollar value? Let me get back to the comments here. Sadie says, I've also heard many people hate on Prism for the same pick, different, myself included. Topps Bowman needs to chill with the color ads. Sapphire is also the same. Bowman is increasing colors as well. You are correct. The rainbow for Bowman used to not be as large as it is today. There used to not be atomics and waves and this and that's. It was like a simple rainbow. So that's another thing you can go off of. I don't know how many different golds there are now, or oranges. Like, orange is supposed to be the 25, but when you got 10 different oranges, is it really the 25 any longer? Mike says, hey, what is up, Mike? How are you, man? Hope you are doing well. Sean says, I'd much rather buy a 1K collection than half a box of Prism. Collections are fun. Sometimes you never know what you're going to find in them, and it gives you inventory to start piecing out. What I've loved doing is taking out stuff that I want, and then the stuff I don't, I can have fun listing on eBay and selling. Amari says wax prices should drop, in my opinion, as big cards are pulled. That is a good theory. The issue is, more times than not, you don't even know exactly when the big card is pulled. I'm going to tell you my thought when the whole flawless thing started, when they were chasing the triple LeBron logo man, which if you noticed, that was like on fire for a couple weeks, and now you don't see any flawless being open, right? Kind of curious on that. I personally think that LeBron triple logo man has already been pulled. I just don't think it's been spoken of, but I think it's been pulled. I think Drake coming in, I don't know if there was some deal to push the product. I don't know what the premise was exactly. Maybe he was chasing it, but personally, I feel that card's been pulled. So sorry about your luck, Drake. I know you spent a shitload of money, but you can afford it. So, Bullpen says, glad I played it smart. Natsman says, elbow cough. You sick, man? What's wrong, Natsman? Eat, rip, bet. When I went to Meijer in my area last night, it was sobering how much the actual true price has increased with decreased pack odds and increased box prices going on simultaneously. Prices are up 63%. So I don't have a Meijer in my area, but I have familiar Meijer. For those that don't know, it's like a Walmart type store in the Midwest. They get some Meijer exclusive product, which sucks because nobody else gets them. But they also get mega boxes. I believe they actually sometimes get Walmart and Target both exclusive mega boxes. I cannot confirm that. I don't know if it's the same. But it's a nice store. It's only located in the Midwest, and similar to Walmart. I seen someone go and they were doing like a retail run type thing, video vlog thing. And there was like UFC Prism. That's what it was. UFC Prism. And they did the little price check scanner, and it was $40 for a blaster of UFC Prism. There was these remade vendor packs of 2019 Prism basketball, or 2020 Prism basketball. I'm sorry. It was like 3-pack hangers. Those I think were like 20 some dollars for 3 packs of Prism. That was a little odd to me because I don't know if they were hobbies or what they were. It just said like Prism little hanger box, had 3 packs in it, and those were like $20. But yeah, I definitely did see the prices at Meijer. I also kind of think Meijer's price might be a little bit higher. I can't confirm that, to be honest with you. I went to Walmart the other day. There was some product on the shelf, and I didn't even buy any. So, Bullpen answered my question that I was asking with how many people would still be in the hobby. He said 0. Natsman did the little shrug. Mike, what is up, Mike? He said, personally, don't think I would stay in the hobby. A big part of it is the climb for me. I love selling, trading, lower things. I'm building and building. Now, Mike, I cannot answer the question for you, and I respect your opinion there, but I also don't think necessarily that that would be the case, because although that is part of the fun, and yes, the grind of the hobby is definitely fun. You've posted pictures of cards that your dad owned and how important those cards are to you. I don't think even if those cards like 10x in value, just hearing statements you've made about those cards, I don't think you would sell them. To me, that means you have a true attachment and some passion within. Now, it might be fun selling and trying to move up to a better card that you want, But I think deep down, even if there was no value attachment and it was just trading, like, and when I say no value, I'm saying like it wasn't value relevant. There would still be value because we would still be buying from friends or trading. I'm talking about going back to the old days when value wasn't the only thing that had importance to the cards. So I think you would still stay just based off of seeing your posts of your father's cards and hearing how passionate you are about owning those and keeping them. So that's just my opinion, but Natsman says all about the Benjamins. Uh, Bullpen said kids have no bills. Torrance, how are you, my man? It says, yep, travel is high again, and people actually at the workplace finding ways to make money. Let's see. Natsman said, I was supposed to get a Beckett magazine. Yeah, Natsman must have been a tough stuff user. Just messing with you, man. Mike, I have my Roenick collection still. Would go into stores and buy only his stuff from the star boxes. Jeremy Roenick. It's a name you don't hear often, but he was a great hockey player. Torrance says, I regret not sticking to it when I was a kid. I had the Beckett, but I rarely cared too much when I was 7 to 10 years old. Beckett's honestly, so if I'm sure you've heard like old men use excuses back in the day, and here this is where times have changed. And YouTube might demonetize me or kick me off or whatever, but I'm sure you've heard older men talk about Playboy magazines, and they were always like, well, I don't look at the pictures. They do nothing for me. I like reading the articles. Beckett magazine was a similar thing. Like, my favorite part with Beckett wasn't opening it up and seeing what the prices were. My favorite part was going in and reading the stories or seeing the cards or looking at the hot cold list and that sort of thing. The prices like didn't matter because we didn't have eBay. We weren't trying to sell every card that we had because we didn't have a ton. You know, we would have a little box of nice cards, and then we would have binders that we were putting in like players that we got, Nolan Ryans and Ryan Sandbergs and Ricky Hendersons and all them guys. We would put those in like sheets, the 9-page sheet or 9-holder sheets, and build our little player collections. So as far as the Beckett and the value, it was just a guide that, like, if we went to make a trade with a friend, we knew basis on what the overall opinion was on value. Or when we went to a shop, we knew that we were going to get like 80% if the shop did that on trade. Today, it's, well, what did the last one sell for? Well, we didn't really have that back then. But today, it's what everything is dependent on. Well, what did the last one sell for? Just because the last person paid $300 doesn't mean the next guy wants it for $300. The market cannot steady be a up, up, up. One guy paying X price for one card does not mean they're all then worth that amount. That was one example. So, he said, I had those Kobe rookie cards that now go for tens of thousands. There ain't too many Kobe's out there going for tens of thousands anymore. That was a short period of time. There are a few that are high value, but not many now. There's a lot of Kobe rookies out there. So, okay, here's another statement. He said, we are grown men now, so money is more important than ever. This is another question I would love to ask. How many people use card money to support their families? Because it's another thing I keep hearing with the economy and that sort of thing, and how that's going to affect sports cards. And I was always, and maybe I'm just blind to it, but I was always under the impression that people like had separate accounts. They had their card hobby account, then they had their account that they paid their bills with. I don't know how the economy is going to affect cards if people are playing with separate accounts. Like, if the economy crashes, I'm not gonna say, oh shit, I'm not gonna like use cards to pay my bills. That's I don't know. It's just something I've thought about. I don't know where the economy and cards correlate. Because and I'm sure there's people out there that do use their income and they're having to tighten up a little bit. I get that. I just it I would be curious to know how many people that actually is. Let's see. Meyer's only good product, in my opinion, are the Meyer purple blister packs of Top Series 1 and 2. The purple parallels are good. They are good, and I am so jealous when y'all get them because I can never find the yellow Walgreen ones either in my area. And then you guys get those purples. Only thing I don't like about them is you guys can cheat and see what cards are in those blister packs because they don't hide them very well. Prism Post for this year's price is nuts. I did well in a case of 2020, have 3 boxes left. No way with the opening price was I going to take a shot this year. Prism is insane. You are absolutely right. With Walmart selling, y'all need to use the app to scan the boxes to reduce prices per store and use the Topps coupon too if you get one. Natsman is going to do like the couponer strategies for retail wax shopping. I see it in upcoming future videos, Natsman. There is content idea for you, brother. Go to Walmart, show people how to buy this shit and save money. Let's do it. I think that's a good genre of video for you. Now that you're sitting there giving instructions, I didn't even know you could like scan it with the app and use Topps coupons. I didn't even know that. Let's see. Scott says, I would stay. I am a PC guy. I have only ever sold a handful of cards in my lifetime. I sell, but it's stuff that I don't want. My PC stuff, it's not getting sold unless there was ever an emergency, a dire emergency, medical or something like that, to where I absolutely needed the money. My collection stuff is staying in my collection. Those of them watched the channel since the beginning. Y'all know them shelves over that shoulder. Those shelves have been like that since I set this room up in this direction. There's not a card that has changed on that shelf. So that's the wife saying hi and bye, guys. Sorry, I'm missing the chat. Bullpen says PC cards have value, personal value, so regardless, cards will have value. Very true. I've tried to say that as well in past videos. I'm talking financial. You know what I mean. You're just trying to throw loopholes in there now. Mike says card money for me is purely for the hobby. Torrance says not many. That's not me, though. I don't rely on sports cards for money, but there are lots of guys who are. Mike says, although sometimes I do consider whether I should be buying $1,000 card or putting an extra payment on my car. So I don't ever like look at it that way. I look at it sometimes as, do I want to buy this or do I want to buy this? Which one is the smarter? I'll do like a mail day type thing coming up. Maybe at some point. I don't even know when this stuff's going to get here. I got into a huge rabbit hole yesterday, and it's kind of also why this has been on my mind a little bit. I bought some stuff yesterday that I've never bought before. I actually have never had any interest necessarily in the cards, but I got into a rabbit hole and I started researching. And the more I researched, the more sets I found. And I'm going to tell you where this all stems from. So first off, me and the missus I've been trying to detach, decompress at least one day on the weekend because I spend so much time working on stuff that I've been trying to have a decompression day if I need it. And we've been watching some shows and enjoying some shows. And so we watched Breaking Bad, we've watched Better Call Saul, and we started to pick back up where we left off on Walking Dead. And, we're going to also check out the new seasons of Dexter. So there's just some shows that we've been watching. And so I started looking into the autograph cards because I'd looked at them in the past, but at the time they were kind of expensive. So I checked back into Breaking Bad autos and Walking Dead autos, etc. Well, I picked up a uh, a Walking Dead auto, and then I was like, let me look at some other things. And then when we sent in all those old tobacco cards recently, I was like, you know what? Those old cards are cool too. So that put me in this huge rabbit hole. And I bought so much stuff yesterday. I spent a lot of money that I was unexpected on spending. And then I sat and questioned myself, should I have done that? And at first I was like, I was an idiot. I could have bought a Soto or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not an idiot because although I've never enjoyed this stuff before, I absolutely had a blast digging in, researching, looking stuff up, finding sets I had never knew existed. And that was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I spent a lot of money. I bought a lot of stuff that might be crazy to some to buy, but I had fun and there was an enjoyment there of like finding it. And I never like put stuff in my cart and just check out. I always like think about it and then I regret it because people buy the shit and then I can't buy it. And anyway, like there's some cards in there that have population counts. Like one of them, I could only find a pop of one. Some are under like 10, some are under 20. I will tell you there's cards from 1880 that I bought. So some cool stuff. I'll share it with you guys whenever it all comes in and everything. But you're right. Sometimes you do look at things in certain light after you spend the money, but if you're having fun, screw it. Let's see. I don't use card money to pay my bills at all. I keep that stuff separate. Natsman says separate. Torrent said, yeah, for me it's fun, although I have some as an investment, but it's very low. My investment is time, effort, making friends, and knowing that when I pass them down to my kids, there's going to be something for them. Um, New stuff, that's just for my enjoyment. Do I expect this stuff to hold really? Not really. I'm being honest. The stuff I'm pointing at a display y'all can't see. I have different displays. That is my new stuff. This is stuff when I was growing up, and that's vintage. The vintage stuff I have full confidence in. The stuff I grew up with, I don't think is going to drop anymore. The new stuff, I think it hasn't hit its floor, if you want to be honest. But I still enjoy it. Like I said, I know a handful that lost their jobs during COVID, got into cards, and are trying or did try to use it as the way to support themselves and or family. Yeah, it was easy and when you say during COVID hasn't went away. The world's just acting a little bit more normal. I think it was too easy then, and people got into it and thought, well, this is an easy way to make money. I'm making a lot of money. And then things didn't go as planned and it went down. It's kind of like almost look at it as being laid off from your job because it's not what it was. Flipping wax isn't as easy as it was. So that's an unfortunate thing, and I think a lot of people might have done that. So Bullpen said, my car money is car money. My work money is family money. If you can't separate the two, you're going to get burnt. Absolutely. Mike K said, luckily I have a 40-hour-a-week job, and it's a 100% hobby. Natsman said, no Walgreens yellow this year. Bro, I can never find them to begin with. I go to my Walgreens, and they never have anything. Torrance says, I used my Oxygen card when went to Walmart and it was 5% off. I'm not sure what Oxygen card is. I don't know if that's like a credit card or a Walmart card or what. I'm not familiar with Oxygen card. Sean says, I will sometimes loan my card account money for a purchase, but I pay myself back. I think what he's meaning is sometimes he will add to his card account from personal money, but he pays it back to his personal account, if I'm reading that correctly. Um, Eat Rip Bet says no tops 10s either. I have not seen any or have heard of any. Um, that would be interesting if they didn't do the 10s. I think the 10s they would most likely do because I damn sure know they probably have product for them. They probably got shit. I bet half the tops isn't even hit the store shelves yet. So I would say there's going to be 10s. I haven't heard any one way or the other. So um, let's see. I ended up buying a Topps Chrome 2021 update at my local Barnes and Noble, but I ain't going to open it. Chrome update is a nice product. Just hard as hell to hit anything in. It's mostly base cards. The refractors and everything are numbered in those, so they are way tougher to hit. 2019-20, the pyramid card scheme. Hey, not to throw any conspiracy theories, but Card Closet, what is up, man? Ha, I didn't make any money off cards during COVID, but I sure spent a lot. Hey, I wouldn't say I sat here and profited. Because I put it back into buying stuff. Y'all see like the cards that I have on display and the stuff I share with you guys, that didn't come like by magic. That was by luck because of the way I was able to sell stuff. And I can 100% admit selling cards in 2020 and 2021, early 2021 was easy. It was easy money to be made, and it helped with a lot of the stuff I obtained. Not denying that one bit. And that's why my point tonight isn't like, oh, the hobby's crashing, oh, it's in doom and gloom. I would love to see a reset. I want to see a reset. I want to see a picture, a better image of where we are today. Do we have we see these graphs on what the cards are selling for. Where are we at with people interest and population and transactions within the hobby? Where are we at with that today? Let's say 2019, we were at a median of 100%. And then 2020 and 2021, let's say we went to 250. We went from 100 to 250. Are we back to 200? Are we at 225? Are we at 150? Where are we at from the 2019 to the rise to back? That's what I'm talking about with a hobby reset. I would like to see where the strength of interest. Now, I can tell you going to card shows, it looks like everything is booming. It looks like the hobby's just exploded, right? I think it's a false image because in the peak time of 2020 and 2021, there wasn't hardly anyone at the shows. Like Chantilly, this last Chantilly show was booming. I've never been to a show that packed. 2020 and 2021, when the markets were exploding, there wasn't nearly as many people there. And it wasn't because they were restricting the people coming in. It was, now granted, the tables weren't set up as much, but I think it was just people were selling online. It was easy to sell online. You could throw them up on eBay and sell by that evening, That's how easy it was. I think now to sell and stuff, card shows are where it's at because if you pay any attention to some of these the flipper styles on the show videos, it's buying stuff that doesn't have comps. It's buying below what they feel they could sell for. But there's no traceability with a online eBay comp to show what the value of it's worth. That's how profits are made now. Now that it's not 2020 and 2021, that's how profits are made. Buy something low population, low print, doesn't have any paper trail of, an online eBay sale. So somebody say, well, the last one sold for $500 and you're asking 800, I'll pay you 502. There's no paper trail of that. The show sale doesn't show up. So if they buy it at 500, they can ask 1,000 and make a deal at 800 and make $300 profit because there's no paper trail of it. So if you can catch on to things, that's kind of where some of the stuff is leading towards. Let's see. Bullpen says breaking is actually a better plan than buying a hobby box. Breaks are fun as well. Just do it responsibly. I will also say breaking is something that we did not have during junk era. There was no breakers. So when people are like, oh, but there's not, product all over at 8,000 different retail stores like it was back in the 90s. Well, you didn't have thousands of breakers either, ripping case after case after case after case of product. Think about that a second. You didn't have that during junk era 1.0. You didn't have the breakers soaking it up, ripping the product. How many cases of product a day gets broke by breakers? Think about that. A lot. A hell of a lot. Let's see. Mike said, top card I have regrets of selling during the COVID peak, my PSA 10 Sanders rookie. Barry or Dion? I'm going to guess Barry. Canton, what is up? Guns, how are you, brother? Let's see. Card shows are deceiving. Lots of window shopping of people trying to trade again. I saw so many people this last show trying to get the dealers to buy from them on walk-ups. Some pretend it's March still. You are absolutely correct. Now, I am one that I do take cards with me to a show. I like to shop with cardboard. However, when I take, like if I was to take this stack of cards on my table, none of these cards would I expect to get eBay comp on, okay? Basically how I do it, and I'm going to use this. This is a Phillip Rivers first edition rookie, okay? If I know that I have $15 plus grading in this card, then I know where I'm at on it. And let's say eBay is, let's say I'm into this for $25. Just throw it out there, 25 bucks. I graded this before price change, so I know I graded it, what was it, $8.50 or whatever. So let's say I'm $25 into this card. And that's another thing too. Like you look at this, I graded this a while ago. A lot of my stuff I'm like very low into because I graded it before grading fees increased. So let's say market value is, that I'm $25 into it. Let's say market value is 80 bucks. I'm able to take this to a show and give it to a dealer for $60 and be perfectly fine with it. And that's how I'm able to move cards easily at shows to buy stuff that I want, because the dealer has then got $20 to work with. If he wants to throw it in his case at the last eBay sale price, he's got $20 to make profit on. I am then making, if I get 60, I'm making $35. So I'm actually making more than I'm giving the dealer to make, but we're both happy. Okay. So when you're going to a show, if you want to negotiate and move stuff and make some money to buy for your collection, don't necessarily get hung up on what the eBay price is. Pay more mind to what you have in the card. Okay. You can make deals a lot better that way and actually benefit you and the dealer. And if you benefit a dealer, next time you go to the show, they're going to remember that. Believe it or not, those guys remember, transactions they make with, especially if you're giving them a good deal. So, Canton says on card autos preferably. That's a discussion that can sway both ways. Stickers, yeah, sure. They're not the greatest thing in the world, but you got to think a lot of the early autograph cards, where they were on the shiny like insert, it was a sticker. It just looked very nice and clean on the card. Um, cut autos, is it technically on card? No, but cut autos sell for a premium. Yeah, a lot of times it's a deceased athlete, but still, I mean, they might have signed the paper, but they didn't sign the actual card. It's not on card. Same thing with a sticker. They had the sticker in their possession, so I can see it both ways. If the sticker makes the card ugly, I don't want it. If it's a nicely presented card, like the Ovechkin I have down at SGC, believe it or not, it's sticker. But if you looked at the card, you can't really tell it's a sticker auto. It blends in with the card so nicely, you can't even tell it's a sticker. So if it makes the card presentable, really nice, I don't mind the sticker. If it makes the card ugly, I don't care for sticker. Mike said it was a Scoreberry. That's what I figured. That super soft score stock one I won't find again at what I got it for. Yeah, that's the key. Finding cards at a low cost to obtain can be tricky sometimes, but it's still doable. Let's see. Long term holds easy to move at 3x to 5x. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. Not everything is going to go 3 to 5x. We know that, guns. A lot of stuff, yeah, you can move it over time easier. A lot of stuff could go negative 3 to 5x too, especially ultra modern. So, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to get on and chat with you all for a little while. It has just had some stuff on my mind. I know, and I don't know if anybody cares about it. I talked about it with Big Scott and JD. Something that, like, I've been thinking about the whole card ladder Chris thing for a while. I didn't do a video on it. I'm not gonna get a whole hell of a lot into it right now, but it's another topic to where he made a statement based off of people, because he feels like big money needs to move into sports cards. And he feels that content creation affects big money not being attracted to sports cards. Does he realize that when you state the term the hobby, that also is implied to doing YouTube content? Like, sure, if you break 1,000 subscribers, you can monetize your channel. Great, whatever. But contrary to popular belief, just because you have 1,000 plus subscribers doesn't mean you're making bank on YouTube. Like, I don't make shit on YouTube, and I have over 2,200. I do this because I enjoy getting on talking with you guys. Like tonight, if somebody wanted to get on and talk with me, I would have tossed out the link and hit you guys up. And we could have sat here and chatted. Just like the other night with Big Scott, with JD. Anytime somebody wants to talk cardboard, I will sit and talk cardboard. Anybody that's been on the phone with me knows I will talk cardboard. This is a hobby. I do the videos to have fun and to hopefully maybe throw out something that someone gets something from. Maybe some information somebody can use. If I was expecting to draw in a guy to spend $50 million, I would cancel my YouTube account because I don't ever see that happening. All right. So I think his statement was to a very specific audience. He didn't state who that audience was. I don't know who he was speaking on. There's many speculatory names that have been tossed out. But at the end of the day, he generalized an entire population. I'm going to call this a population now. but he generalized an entire population of people that get on here and do videos, 99.9% of us just for fun, to build a community, to make friends, you know? And if some of it is goofballish or whatever, who cares? Some of the most popular people on YouTube, and I have kids, okay? Some of the most popular people on YouTube do some of the stupidest videos out there. Rhett and Link, they do some of the dumbest videos on YouTube, and people watch it. PewDiePie does some of the dumbest videos on YouTube, and people watch it. He has over 100 million subscribers. Rhett and Link has like 10 billion lifetime views. And they do stupid stuff for entertainment, okay? We are talking about sports cards as entertainment, as a hobby. I, for one, enjoy helping people. I enjoy answering people's questions. I enjoy putting out information that I think people might find useful. I do not ever expect an investor to watch my content and make a decision on whether or not they should or should not spend $50 million in sports cards. I apologize if I disappoint anyone with that, but that is not what I am here for. You spend your money on what you enjoy, whether that's in sports cards or outside of sports cards. Come hang out with me just because I am a goofy looking dude that wears a blue ball cap that talks a lot. Okay? I'm not here to tell anybody where, how, or when to spend their money. Just always keep that clear. Refractor Jones, what is up, brother? Foolish statement. No one should say how or when you collect or speak on cards. He clearly didn't think that thought out. Refractor, you are someone that I really, really, really hope we get to connect on here at some point, because you speak the truth. And there was something that I thought about. You're going to know who I speak of because you are well aware of the person. But he is affiliated now, connected to, hangs out with one of the individuals that shapes this hobby more than many people that are in this hobby. And it's an individual that is a very good salesman. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to say he's a very nice salesman. I think of him as like a used car salesman, more or less. He's got this pristine condition 86 Honda Civic that's got another 300 million miles in it, and it's only going to cost you $10,000. That kind of salesman. He wants to talk about authentic content and, you know, clown content or this, that, and the other, but yet he is with a guy that like has been time and time again connected to some bad things within the hobby. So I felt that kind of interesting. But also, I don't know if many people caught the end of it, but it bothered me a lot when they were just speaking about authentic content, and he's, you know, they were saying their goodbyes and thank you for having us on, and Dakota was thanking Chris and Christina, and Christina was actually excited to be on there, and Chris made a statement of, yeah, I don't, she doesn't get to go on much because I'm always worried about her firing bullets off or what she's going to say. And I was like, wait a second. They were just talking about authentic content, that we need authentic content in this space. And then he's going to say, I'm worried about my wife being on camera because I don't know what she's going to say. I'm going to tell you guys now, there's been times I've been passionate, that I have went on rants, that I have said what was on my mind. Nobody is censoring when I say that. I say what the hell I want to say, and I'm going to speak the truth on it. If he's worried about what his wife is going to say in a video, how in the hell is that authentic? That is fake and picking and choosing what is spoken on and how it is answered. That's not authentic. Saying from your heart, saying from your mind, your thoughts, and putting that out there, that is authentic. Okay. So I found that very interesting. I don't know if anybody else caught on to that or if they watched the ending of it. But that was a huge, like, he showed the hand that he's being dealt. Because yeah, it's like you just said one thing, but then you backed it up with another. I didn't quite get that at all. Um, Hang on one second. I gotta text G back. I gotta send a text message here in a minute. I gotta remember two other cards, but anyway, has anybody else got anything to talk about or topics or anything? I just wanted to get on and hang out for a bit tonight, blow off some steam. But let's see. Refractor said, unfortunately, they're under the PSA umbrella, so they have to watch what they say. But she's legit. She speaks her mind when she basically is allowed. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got. But I didn't get that from him when he made that statement. And again, I don't care what umbrella you're under. I don't care what you could be under a damn parachute. I don't care. I get there's business, but you're running your mouth calling people clowns, saying that there needs to be authentic content, but then basically saying, I never know what my wife's going to say and it scares me. Well, let her say what she wants to say. I mean, if you have to twist your words around, then it's not good. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys tonight. I need to text Tim back real quick, but I appreciate those that hopped on. This was unexpected. I was just like, you know what? I honestly sat here and tried to record videos. I tried recording videos a couple times today, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let me just get on, hang out with the folks, and talk, and see if anybody else wanted to hang out with me. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow by 8 o'clock, I am hoping to be at a ball game tomorrow evening. But at 8 o'clock, the contest giveaway thing will be over. I will do the random and everything for it sometime after that. Good luck to everybody. Thank you for those that have participated. It was just a thank you. I enjoy doing giveaways with no ill intent behind them. I've done them before. I enjoy doing them. Again, had a shirt and some stuff that I thought you guys might like. So wanted to toss that out there for everybody. But I do appreciate you all. Thank you for hopping on. And I hope you have a wonderful night. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.